In this lesson, we're going to take a look at how we can duplicate Autodesk Revit views and then set up their discipline and subdisciplines for mechanical, electrical, or plumbing. And then finally, we'll set the display of each view to only display a specific type of object. For example, we're going to create a mechanical 3D view, an electrical 3D view, and a plumbing 3D view. I'll begin with a mechanical view. Here I've already got a project with a 3D view. And I'm going to duplicate this view by right-clicking on it and selecting Duplicate View and Duplicate. Choosing Duplicate with Detailing will also bring along any annotations that I might have in this view, which is not an issue on this 3D view. So I'll select Duplicate. That creates a new 3D Copy 1 view here in the same section underneath Coordination. I'll go ahead and right-click on this one and rename it. And I'm going to name this one 3D HVAC. We're only going to display components related to the heating, ventilation, and air conditioning in this 3D view. Currently, I'm seeing the architectural model, and that's because the discipline is set to coordination. So I'm going to set the discipline to mechanical, and then I will set the subdiscipline to HVAC. Now as my model updates, we'll see that the architectural model has been shifted to halftone, and I'm able to see MEP components of all kinds, plumbing, electrical, and mechanical. So next we're going to filter down what is being displayed. I'm going to start by opening up the Visibility Graphics dialog box. You can type VV or VG to get directly into it. You can also come over to the properties and find Visibility Graphics and edit it here. I'm going to switch to my Filters tab, and this controls what is visible on screen right now. It's important to note that to deselect items, I want to deselect their visibilities, not the Enable Filter column, so we're going to leave all of those checked. So on this one, I would like to just see the mechanical supply and mechanical return for my HVAC system. So the other ones, I will simply turn off their visibility and click Apply. And then I will see a change to my model out here. I can no longer see the plumbing information, for example, that was right here. Now, while I'm able to see the mechanical supply and return, I'm also able to see a lot of equipment and fixtures still that I do not want to see. So I'm going to switch back to the Model Categories tab here. Then I will change my filter to display just certain items, in this case, electrical and piping. That way I can turn those items off. That filters this list here, and now I can go through here and I am going to remove electrical equipment and electrical fixtures, lighting devices and lighting fixtures, and then plumbing fixtures. I'll go ahead and click OK. The end result is going to be a nice 3D view that only shows me the HVAC components and systems. I'll go ahead and select one of my levels out here and type VH to hide the category, and there's my end result. So let's see that example again, this time dealing with just electrical. I'll switch to my electrical project here, and initially I'll start it the same way. I will find my default 3D view, right click on it and duplicate it. Then I will right click on it and rename it. And this is going to be my 3D electrical here. Once again, I'm able to see the architectural model, so I will change my discipline, this time to electrical, and then my subdiscipline to lighting. Once more, the architectural model goes halftone, and I can see all of the systems. We'll get back into the Visibility Graphics dialog box to change some of these settings. So VV or VG, or the Edit button here in Properties. I'll return to the Filters tab. And as you can see, the choices here are pretty much mechanical and plumbing related. There's no electrical items. So I'm actually going to turn off the visibility of each of these items. Once again, make sure you're getting the visibility column and not the Enable Filter column. I'll go ahead and click Apply. You can see some changes out there. There's still a few items that we don't want to display. I can see some plumbing fixtures, for example. So I'm going to switch back to the Model Categories tab. And in my filter list, I'll set this to piping and mechanical. And then I am going to turn off the display of air terminals. I can see some of those through there. I'm also going to turn off the plumbing fixtures. So I'll deselect those as well. Then click OK. I'll go ahead and hide my levels by selecting one and typing VH. And then I'll zoom in and take a closer look, and I can see that aside from the halftone architectural model, the only components that are residing in here are all my electrical lights, electrical panels, and components there. Let's see this one more time, but with just plumbing. I'll switch to my plumbing project here, and once again, I'll start the same way. Right-click on the default 3D view, duplicate it, and then I will rename it with my right-click, and I'll just simply call this one 3D Plumbing. Once more, I'm seeing the architectural model, so I'll change my discipline and my subdiscipline to plumbing. And that will make my building halftone, and I can see all of these systems. Once again, we'll go to Visibility Graphics, VV or VG if you want to use the shortcut. Then on the Filters tab, I'm going to filter this to where I'm only showing the sanitary, which is the sewer drains, if you will, and then the cold and hot domestic water. Then I'll switch back to my Model Categories tab, and if I go ahead and click Apply, I can see there's still a lot of electrical components out here, so I'm going to filter this list to electrical. And then I'm going to turn off the display of several items here. I'm going to turn off cable tray fittings and cable trays, conduit fittings and conduits, data devices, electrical equipment and electrical fixtures, lighting devices, and lighting fixtures. Then I'll click OK. So I'm going to return to my Visibility Graphics dialog box and adjust my filter list to also show mechanical. Then I will deselect the air terminals as well. Now we can see that I have a 3D view that is only going to show me the plumbing information. Once again, I can select a level and VH to get that nice 3D plumbing view. So now I can look at all three of these projects, and I have a 3D view just to show HVAC, a 3D view to show all my electrical components, and a 3D view to show all of my plumbing components as well. That concludes this look at duplicating views and setting the view displays in Autodesk Revit.